Alford, the artist of the violin, and I play the violin.
So Brooke, why did you decide to call yourself the artist of the violin?
It actually wasn't a decision of me calling myself that. I remember actually when I first got into the business, I went and I played for an executive producer who was interested in just hearing me because he had heard about me. And this was before I had an album. This was before I even had a business card. And he heard my playing. He was like, it's more than just a violinist. It's like you bring so much more to the instrument. It's like it's singing to me. So. So initially, I had another title. He was like, you got to come up with another title. You can't just use violinist. It's too much.
You got to tell me what that other title was.
And the other title was actually one that me and my sister ended up taking all these different elements that he described my playing to be, and then it came to violinist, which is actually on my first album, Brooke Alford, and my second album is named The Violinist. So from that, you know, a lot of people, as they were getting to know me through the years, would always say, there she is, the violinist. And then, of course, others, you know, they may not have gotten to know me just yet, but it basically described my playing soulfully and singing through the violin. And so the artist of the violin had actually still been with my name from beginning too, because a designer I was working with, he said, you're a contemporary artist of the violin. You're an artist of the violin. It's more than, again, just, oh, you're a violinist. No, it's like you bring so much more. So then I just condensed it to artist of the violin and decided to just drop, I guess, violinist, just to condense the name a bit, but still have the same meaning-esque. And so that's where Brooke Alford, the artist of the violin, basically evolved from.
Oh, wow.
Is now.
That's a story.
Evolution, that's what this was. But violinist is still part of my brand, and it's a part of my brand.
Now, before you
come back, yes.
Now, before you settled on those two names and your current name, did you have a name that you thought that was just a really good idea, but didn't quite make it?
I'm trying to think. Did I have a? I don't think I really had it. I was just Brooke. That's what it was. And they were like, okay. But then I was like, nah, I'll go ahead and add my last name in there, because initially I was thinking maybe just Brooke and then artist of the violin or something like that. But it all again evolved to Brooke Alford, the artist of the violin.
Now, speaking of violin, now I see that you're playing the acoustic violin. Mm-hmm. Now, why you decided to play that versus maybe the electric violin? A lot of contemporary violins seem to do.
Yeah, both, you know, have their place, I think. I think with my acoustic violin, I like the feel. It's natural. I like the feel of my electric violin too, but right now I've just been playing my acoustic a lot more. I'm actually hoping to get another electric violin that can meet the demands of where I'm at this point in my career, because I've had my other one from the beginning of my career, so I'm at a new just a new point, and I would like to have another violin, electric violin, to just take on where I'm at now.
Now today you were performing here at Jazz Matters for the concert series, a part of Ladies of Jazz. Kind of tell me what you're thinking behind some of the music you chose to perform tonight.
Tonight I wanted to focus on my originals as well as some grooves that are my favorite. I love reggae music. I'm an avid reggae music lover, and I said I'm going to incorporate that along with some popular tunes like the Sam Smith that I did, the John Legend, All of Me, but I'm going to do it on my favorite groove. I only got 30 minutes, so I said, how can I creatively intertwine everything, you know, or pretty much touch what I enjoy, including my original music, which is music that comes from here, And yeah, so I said that's what I'm gonna do within my 30-minute time slot. And so
Yeah, you seem to get a real strong reaction from the audience. I saw people rushing to the stage, and kind of tell us why they're rushing, because you got some new music there that they really loved. And so tell us about the new CD.
Well, basically, I had the wonderful opportunity to start on my 3rd CD this year, and so I have a new single called Closer, which was originally produced by Drake Murphy and Kent Murphy out of North Carolina. And so I released it in March, and then a wonderful award-winning smooth jazz recording artist named Bob Baldwin heard it and said, I want to get that right for radio, because I want you to take this whole thing to another level. So he took it and he did all this magic with it, and what you hear now are the Closer remixes, the smooth remixes for smooth jazz radio that are basically taking me into my national debut as a national recording artist. So I'll be on over 100 radio stations nationwide, and I'm just really excited about this this new collection of remixes of Closer.
Mm-hmm.
So
I actually thought it was pretty interesting that you did so many originals, and the people loved it. Mm-hmm. But I would think more artists would want to do that to kind of get people to fall in love. Is that something you do consciously?
I do, because I want people to hear my music. I'll do a whole show of just my music, but also I understand that people want to hear things they're already familiar with too, and just know that I'm aware of those things too, and not just y'all gonna listen to my music and that's it. But I like to incorporate popular tunes in my shows as well.
Yeah, I would think that would be a struggle. Like, how do you find that balance where you want to give them a little bit of their music, and but you also kind of want to introduce them to some of your creative stuff too. I guess how do you normally strike that balance?
I usually look at how the music makes me feel. Like, I say, you know what, I want to add a little house, some house grooves in here. I want to add some sensual R&B. I want to add some contemporary jazz. It all just comes down to my flow and my momentum of my shows. I like to keep my audiences in mind as well, and what I think they would enjoy listening to. And I always put my twist on it, so they're like, what is she going to do with this song? What is this, I guess, remix she's going to do for, this song that I really like. So a lot of them like to just hear what I'm going to do with it, and I keep it in mind. I get a lot of requests for songs as well. Where people they want to hear anywhere from Otis Redding all the way up to Drake. So I get a lot of different requests, and I try to cater to many different audiences.
Okay. I know that you were talking about you have a lot of different interests in your styles that you like to perform in. Like, what would be your dream project to work on? Like, what would be the ultimate Brooke Alford album that you just would love to put together?
I would love to do a collaboration album with Alicia Keys. That would be my dream album, and it would just be me and her, and that's it. And it would be like me featuring her, basically, and we would just write together. We would play everything, and it would just be Brooke Alford, Alicia Keys. That would be a dream album.
Now, why would you pick Alicia?
I love Alicia Keys. I love her vibe. I feel like as a woman, I connect to her very well, and I feel like she's an artist. Like, she's one that wants to connect with people, and her music just speaks volumes. It resonates with my soul and with me. I love performing her songs. Actually, they're very touching, and it just naturally, it just feels good when I play her music. And so I go by vibration, and she vibrates very high to me, and I just know it will be a very beautiful collaboration.
Well, this may apply to Alicia or not, but is there a particular artist whose music kind of really lends itself to playing the violin?
Lends itself? I don't really know if it's just one particular artist. It's just all about the range and all about the decision of the melody. that can make sense when you translate it over to the violin, if you're looking at it from a technical standpoint. That if it has a really great melody line, and if it's something that you can sing, then I think it would fit beautifully on the violin.
I guess that's why you end up doing your own music. You know, it fits perfectly, right?
Yeah, or sometimes it doesn't. It just all comes down to trial and error. Like, okay, what's going to work with this? I mean, I'm a melodic player, and so I like to really touch on the melodies and the voice, you know, that the instrument has versus just focusing on the technicalities of the instrument. We get enough of that in other styles. My goal is to just bring out a different side that people can relate to when it comes to this instrument. Because a lot of people, before they heard me, they were like, violin, what? I'm good. And then they heard me and they were like, oh my gosh, I'm connected. You know, so it's all about finding that path and that way to connect with people. And that's my biggest goal, is to connect with people, because people feed me. People feed my energy, and I just give it right back, and everybody's happy and grooving.
Yeah, I noticed your instrument actually sounds like someone singing at certain parts, and I was like, that's pretty unique. Is that something that you tried? You said, I guess that you tried to kind of bring that out in the instrument.
I don't think it's a matter of try. It's just me being honest when I'm playing. I don't try to sound like anybody else. A lot of players try to sound like the next player, imitate this player, because they're like, yeah, I'm gonna do that lick like him, you know. And you start off like that, you do, but then eventually you say, I have my own voice and I have something I want to say, and that's where you just build up the courage to say it, you know, because a lot of times you're like, I don't know if they're going to receive it the way that I'm hoping they are, but that's where you get over all the fears and you just say, I'm just going to do it, and then you do it, and people are like, oh my goodness, that's different. And I remember Alex Bouillon telling me, he was like, Brooke, you have your own voice, period. That's it. You have your own voice.
So maybe your voice is a vocalist trapped in a violinist, probably.
That's probably what it is. Probably what it is. A lot of people want me to sing vocally. I started off singing, actually.
I was about to ask about. So you sing as well, but you decide not to go that route.
I just wanted violin to be the star of my show, because I had something else to say versus just speaking it blankly, like, okay, this is obvious, she's telling us how she's feeling. I want you to feel how I'm feeling. So I want to play it for you.
You know, it sounds very similar to how George Benson kind of started, in the sense, because he, you know, was all instrumentalist, and someone said, man, we want you to sing, and they heard him sing. It's like, please sing this on record. And he's like, I do it, and then, you know,
there he is.
So my question to you would be, if you knew that, if you combine your singing with your instrument playing, would you do that if you knew it was going to make you take your career to a whole, like, different stratosphere?
Yes, I would. I actually have been open to it. It's just, you know, being so used to being an instrumental artist, it's almost just a whole different hat you put on, but at the same time, maybe not really. You know, maybe if I had a couple of glasses of wine, it wouldn't even matter before every show. But that doesn't really happen. But it's just a matter of, I guess, homing into exactly how I want to do it and just doing it. Pretty much.
My vote is to try out one time on one single and see what happens. Yeah. And you know, I won't even take credit if you blow up afterwards. Well, Brooke, thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate the time. I know you had a long day. And any last words you want to say? Well, first of all, if anyone wants to check you out on digital social media, how can they follow you and see what you're up to?
Definitely. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on YouTube. You can just type in my name, Brooke with an E, Alford, Alford. On Facebook, join me at my fan page. That's where all my show happenings and everything like that would be posted. So yeah, join me there, Brooke Alford. You can find me on all those mediums. And yeah, we'll stay in touch. Lots of good things coming up, including my Christmas EP with Bob Baldwin as well. So
there you have it. Make sure you go check out Brooke. Thanks, Brooke. I appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.